Right. So let's take note on the replacement class. So today we go into chapter 2. Chapter 2. Okay. Chapter 2 will be part of your test 1. Okay, chapter 2, we will look at how you manage projects. We look at some processes, right? Lots of theory also for this chapter. Okay. Now, in early days, 1940s, there's a concept called concept of over the fence management. This is a very, very old, very old concept. What I mean by concept of over the fence management? Okay. So meaning every line manager have their own job, and when the top management assign one of the line manager become project manager, so the line manager will perform the job. Means you imagine the role as a head. So after they complete the task, they will just throw away the head to another person to catch it. Then another person will wear the head lah. This is called throw over the head. Means over the fence management. Okay. So when they throw away the head to another side, it means this person no longer hold any responsibilities. Okay. So it means they wash hand and they carry on their other tasks on hand. Okay. So you might need to know how to explain concept over the fence management. Okay. This one can be half of the question. Just to explain, the question might ask, explain the concept of over the fence management. That one line will cost you 10 marks. You explain in paragraph form. Okay. So you can use the analogy of head or responsibilities, and then we're looking for that after they complete the project, they will pass the responsibility to the next project manager. Now, some of the slides you need to go and look for more information in other textbook. So I already simplified a lot of theories on single slides. Okay. So when it comes to test or final exam, don't when you see the question, don't ask me. Don't ask me, Dr. Ang. This is not inside your slides. We expected you. When you see the slides, you should go and look for more information. Okay. Right. So the problems or the disadvantages of over the fence management is that the end user or the customers within the company is no issue, but the issue is the customers, the person that outside the company, they might have difficulty finding the correct person talking to. Okay. For example, this month you in charge of project A, let's say lah. Then maybe at the end of December you complete the project already, you come up with the design already, then you pass to another team, you pass to manager B. So after the production come out, the customers come back, right? We say, hey, got problem with the design. Can you fix it for me? Right? So it means in next year, got one customer come in and ask question, can you fix the things for me or not? Then if there is no proper communication, then the problem will start there. Then the review will be very low and the customer will not return. Okay, so benefit disadvantages is no single contact point for question. If the customer asks at the correct time, you still manage to find the correct person. But if already hand over to another person, then the customer might not get the answer they need. Okay, so this is the disadvantages of concept over the fence management. Okay, so these are the expectations for the customers. They want first hand, right? They want first hand. Okay. So in 50 or 60s, those developed countries start to look into defense industry. They start to manufacture, for example, the fighter jets that you see. So they found out that over the fence is not the most effective way of managing projects. Okay. So what they do? They come up with a system. They change the over the fence management style to a more systematic way, or they call it informed method. Okay, informed methods where they delegate to the exact department, like what you see in the current society. Okay, so in the early days, 1940s is like a family business. Or this project, give it to the first son. Then first son don't want to do it already, second to give it to second son, and so on. But in the big project like construction or aerospace, defense, they cannot allow this kind of thing to happen, because one design, it will affect another design. Okay, so they change to a more proper way lah. The rest you read. Okay, rest you read. Then it start to evolve to a more and more systematic way. This one also you read lah. Okay, so you will come out with the checklist, lots of document, or lots of ISO standard, and so on. So the earliest department or organization using a more systematic way is NASA and US Department of Defense. They are the first doing it. Of course, the material that I use is from a US printed textbook, so of course they will mention NASA. So each country have their own, the first department that using this kind of methods. In Malaysia, maybe CIRIM, right? The creation of CIRIM. In Singapore, the Standard Board of Singapore, right? And so on. So what they do in 1980s, which is after the Cold War and modern wars and all this. So NASA and DOD means Department of Defense. They force the contractor to accept a proper way of project management. Means there's lots of documentation and standards. Okay, so after 1990s, maybe it's the years that you born, right? Implementing the project management is not a choice anymore. You are forced to follow a certain procedure when you want to handle projects, right? Okay, the rest you see lah. Okay. Now there is a life cycle phrases for project management maturity, or life cycle phrases for project management. All right. Again, don't confuse this one with the earlier phrases. Don't confuse with the earlier slide that mentioned about project management. This is on the maturity. Life cycle phrases. Embryo means small cell, right? Embryo. And then you go to executive management acceptance. You go to line management acceptance. You go to growth phase and maturity phase. There are 5 phrases. Okay. So all these you read respective phrases. What are the things that is needed? Okay. Again, this one need your further reading on all these phrases. Again, this material is old material. You might have difficulty finding all this in the latest textbooks. This one in the old textbook may be still there. But like if you go and find version 2020, maybe this one is they changed to another phrases already. Okay, but this is some theory. At least you know what are the phrases when you do project management. Okay. Okay. Then benefit. The changes of perception of benefit in project management, past view and present view, or this one also you read. Here you have more than 10 points. Here also you have more than 10 points. So usually the exam will ask you, what is the differences, perspective difference in the benefit of project management? You need to write 5 over here, 5 over here. You memorize lah. Any things that, any point from here, you pick 5, you memorize. You pick 5, you memorize. Yeah. So the detail I won't read lah. Every line you go and read. Okay, very direct lah, very direct. Okay. Then there's a market crash in 2008. I think that time you are still very, very young, right? But you'll start to see maybe sometimes that time maybe you will see your neighbor moving in and out. You'll be moving from school to another school because of economic issue, right? So that time there is a market crash in the US and it snowballed to other nation, right? Then after you have a market crash, then it needs some time for the economic to build up. The same cases like COVID, right? It hit all the nation and it takes almost like 4 years, like 2024 now. You will see everything start to back to normal, right? And there's some changes in the business world, and some technologies also coming out. Okay. So the question now become how long it will be take us to achieve this benefit. So this is the cost. Y-axis the cost is the time. So there are few 2 line here. One is the cost of project management. So as you start from the projects, then you drag, the cost of project management will go up. Then at the optimum, it will go down. Then it will stay flat when you have a maturity of your technologies and the way you manage the company, right? Rule of thumb is 5 years. So if you start a business, you can survive for 5 years. You are at this phase already. Of course, there are another circle lah, but after 5 years, you start a new business. You can see whether you can continue or you want to stop the business. Right. So that is the okay. Then this one is additional profit from the better project management. So if you have a better profit management, the profit will go up lah. The profit will go up lah. Okay. Sure. Sure.
This one just now you said different names, right?
Where got different?
Like maturity phase, growth phase. Yeah, you just like mentioned phase, phase, phase,
Huh?
phase, 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 phase.
You know why is the reason I blank up? I want you to write. That's called tutorial question. It's not lecture notes. I hope you understand the difference between lecture notes and tutorial question. Tutorial question is for you to put in your answer. So in my class, don't expect me to give you everything. Okay. And for this module, we want you to try to think as a project manager. There's no right or wrong answer. We want to see whether you're able to think as an effective project manager. You must able to support your argument or statement with some analytic or analysis problems or some theory or some methodology. Okay. So back to the question from the class just now. In the tutorial question, you will see some blank space there. Sometimes I purposely pull something out from the slides. That is to catch your attention in the class if you are using the tutorial question material. Right? So again, maybe I missed it, this explanation in the earlier class. Why I give you a tutorial question? Because in the class, there are a few types of learners. Some of you are audio learners. You listen, then you can understand already. Another one, you are visual. Means you need to see something on the slides, then you can remember. Another one, you are psychomotor learners. Means you need to write something to remember. So the tutorial question actually cater for the psychomotor learners. So because some of you don't like to write notes, it's okay. But at least in our class, there's a tools to help you to learn. Okay. Of course, in my class, if you are tired, you can sleep also, no problem. Because maybe you are the audio learners. You close your eye, you also can learn one. So in my class, I give you freedom to do whatever you like, as long as you don't disturb others people. You don't disturb the class, you don't disturb other people. You are in the class, then you're okay. Okay, that is my style lah. Other lecturer, I don't know. I don't apply my method in other class. Okay. Okay, and again, chapter 2 is a lot of theory. So the things that you can read, you read. Okay. Now this slide is important. We start to see project-driven and non-project-driven in previous class. What is project project-driven project management style? When you are project-driven, all the profit and loss will fall under project manager responsibilities. Means if you make money, then there's a reward for you. If you make loss, then there's a penalty on you. You might be demoted, you might be fired. It depends on the decision of the company. Then this one, if your company is a project driven or the organization chart is a project driven, they treat you as a professional. Means professional. They respect you, and they give you some rooms to do your jobs. Okay. After you complete the projects, it will offer you multiple career paths. Means you might become a manager, right? Because you are communicating with all the function unit. So the top management also can observe whether you're able to communicate with other people or not. You're able to handle people at the stressful times, for example, right? So they might offer you, let's say in the project, you are very good in handling people. They might offer you, maybe you are in the engineering background, they might offer you as maybe a group HR manager. right? A good example, maybe you can see in Asia, some of the staff, they are pilots, but they are in the management role now. They deal with finance, they deal with lots of business decision, right? Then income from projects. So the project manager, most of the time, their income is from, sorry, no, this is not a project manager income, it's the company income. The company income, major profit is from projects. All right. Now, non-projects. Now, project-driven normally in construction projects, Setia, Eco Garden, all these are. Okay, this project-driven, or Tesla, Model X, and so on. All right. Non-projects is normally they are manufacturing manufacturing setting. For example, Top Glove. What else? Dyson. Dyson might be maybe here. Very traditional manufacturing. What are other example? Other manufacturing company that you can think of? Huh? PC?
PCA, they also manufacture.
Doing what?
They are manufacturing polymer.
Polymer product is to container or what? Okay, yeah. So that one, yeah, as long as they have a production floor, means the production process. In Chinese, we call it 流水线, means they have a stage of production, very clear stage of production. Then it's under non-project driven. They invest a lots of investment in the equipment, especially. You will see that a lot of money go to the production floor. Then that is under non-project driven. So usually there are very few projects. Profit is from the production, means from the products of that production floor. They have a last brick wall. Here, last brick wall means production unit, usually they don't talk to R&D department. Means production, they only focus on production. Prototypes under engineering, they stay at engineering until they have an official handover to production. Okay. This is bricks means department, between department there is a gap there. You cannot hope to another. If you want to cross over to another department, you want to communicate, you must get approval one. So this kind of very traditional manufacturing setup. So there is a long life cycle products, means their products can last very long one. Okay. Then today we introduce you the middle one. Is called hybrid. By looking at the word, you know lah, it's a mixture of between the two, project driven and non-driven. So the key here is primary production driven, but have many projects. Okay. Okay. Maybe the company that you mentioned just now, right? They are production driven, but they have many projects. They have many products. Right. Means this one you can say maybe is a photo printing company, a newsletter or the newspaper printing shop. Then they are here lah. They print magazine or just the publication, the paper printing work. But if they do something more than like printing, then you need to see lah. Then emphasize on new product development. They always give you new things. Marketing oriented, short product life cycle, need for rapid development process. Here, you can say the easier way to remember is the emphasis on new product development. The rest is elaboration from here. Okay. So this is a simplified diagram that help you to elaborate your point when the question asks you to explain hybrid program management. Okay. So we are looking for all these keywords, but you need to elaborate. You need to elaborate a little bit. So let's say this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 marks. But if you only give me 1, 2, 3, 4, you only get 2 marks for the answer. You give me dot, 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 you memorize and you put inside the answer. Let's say the question asks you non-driven, non-project driven. You give me this 4 point with the dot. Full mark is 4 marks. You only get 2 marks because you do not elaborate. Yeah. So you need to think and how to elaborate on that. So every time you learn about the theories in this module, you need to think of example. What are example that meet the theory part lah, the component. Okay. Okay, so this one is just another elaboration on the first one. Non-driven, like car washing lah, car washing services, all these things. Right. Okay. Yeah, so in the project management in this form will never view as procession, means the position of project manager is so. You can have a project manager, also you can ignore the project manager. Hybrid is a mixture. Yeah, this is just an evolution of traditional project to modern management. Okay. Yeah, this is also some evolution, and this is the disturbance factor. This recessionary effect. So during this year, there's a recession, economic recession. Your time is COVID lah. There's something happened to the manufacturing also. Okay. So for the past, during the 2 years of lockdown, we have seen a lot of effect. For example, layoff. People are hard to find jobs, and then some factory workers, they go and work as Grab driver, and so on, food delivery, and so on. Okay. So during the recession, you see layoff blue collar. You know what is blue collar and white collar, right? You know the difference between blue and white? No. Okay. Now in the oldest day, when they go to work, you imagine in the old movie also you go to watch movie. When the movie is in the industrial setup, or they work in a industrial setup, they will wear a lab coat, a full lab coat one. So the coat is based on their colors. So they usually they wear blue color shirt or blue color outfit lah. You know, the full when they go to factory, they work as the operator. They wear as blue color or dark blue colors kind of things, right? If you go to airport, you see the lab technician. They will wear the blue color uniform. Okay. White collar here is office. You know, office they wear what? They wear long sleeve with white color things. Or you think of a doctor. Doctor, they wear white color. You think of the lawyer. Lawyer also, you see the way they wear also in something in a uniform is appeared to be white color. Means office workers. Okay. So blue collars means very heavily labored profession. White collars is office profession. Yeah. So this is the two words. Which is a wording used for HR management. or when they publish something, or in a in politics speech, they will use this word to represent something. For example, for Malaysia context, our politicians don't use blue color, they use B40. For white collar, normally they refer to T20, for example lah. For example, but basically blue and white is referring to the labor, how much labor they do lah. Blue collar means very heavily labor kind of job. White collar means normally they stay in the office, or they go to office that have a desk. Things you think of the doctor, you think of the lawyer, you think of means you don't need to heavily pick up something, lay bricks and all this. Okay.
So left foot and this is different.
No, it's just the word here. Maybe you are outside hearing your phone just now. Again, blue collar and white collar. Blue collar, it just means the job need to be heavily labor heavy. You need to use your energy, physical body to do something, like layer, construction workers, operators, mines, coal workers. White collars means those stay in the office, or they just need to means the intensity of their labor is not very high, but they use a lot of their brain to do things. Okay. 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 The next is what is success? What is success? Again, definition of success is to meet customer expectation. The end goal is to make your customer happy. As long as your customer say you are good, then you are good. These are the textbook writing. So of course, in exam also we expect you to write the similar way lah. Okay. So success also you need to elaborate on these three factor or these three constraint. Previous class, we tell you there is a primary constraint and secondary constraint. We give you example of Disney previously. This triangular. Okay. Something here, something here, something here, and something there. Then outside is customer relationship. Okay. But anyway, for this module, as long as you circle around time, cost, quality, performance, specification, then you are roughly there lah. You won't go wrong one. Okay. Even though you don't know how to answer, you elaborate your answer based on time, cost, and customer specification or expectation or quality. Your answer won't go wrong one. Okay. Okay. Now this is just an illustration of what is success. What is success? It can be 2D, it can be 3D. 3D is a box. It's a box. So you have a cost and time, and then you have the quality here. So it depends on where you are. So if sometimes you need to play around with this parameter, cost, quality, and time. And then sometimes this box is just represent if the customer think, if you're in the internal process, you control this dot, means you control time, cost, and the quality. But if the customer's acceptance tolerance is within this box, you are okay. Means your focus area must always focus on the customer expectation. Right. The rest you read now. Okay, so success factor, you have primary, secondary. Okay, you have primary, secondary. So this chart also important. You need to able to elaborate on all these points. Okay, so the question that might be come out, it will ask you, give the definition of success based on your understanding in primary and secondary success factor. Okay, on this side, you cannot run away. These 4 points you have to remember. Secondary, you can pick 4 from here. 4 or 5 lah. Okay, we don't expect you to remember all, but you pick maybe 4, it's sufficient. Okay. How you differentiate primary and secondary, or how you elaborate? Primary, you follow the triangular concept, means you look at the time, cost within the quality, and then you accepted by customer. This one cannot change one. It's not that cannot change, but is usually this will be the primary factor that define what is success. Secondary here, you can see secondary here will be what you do. What you do to achieve the primary, or how you achieve the primary. For example, follow on works from these customers, and without disturbance on main flow of work. This one is for the time. Satisfying OSHA. You know what is OSHA? You know what is OSHA? No, Okay. OSHA, OSHA. OSHA is occupation, safety, health. A is what? Can you Google a bit? It's occupation, safety, health, and A. I forget what is A. What is A? Administration. Okay. So it's actually a work safety things. Like for example, construction is more into OSHA, where you climb to, I think, more than 1 floor. You need to have this score of safety things. You need to hook something before you walk outside the window area and so on. Okay. So for example, in our campus, what are the OSHA requirements? You see all these things, this smoke detector. This is under OSHA also. Not every classroom have this one. Some of it you see got water sprinkler. Water sprinkler will be in the library. Most of the classroom will be smoke detector, and you will see every corner you will see the fire extinguisher. Got the white red color one. You have the hose one. All these are under OSHA. Okay, and almost in all the formal meetings or all your camps, boot camp or workshop, they will tell you where is the exit or evacuation exit. These are the OSHA. During you attending your convo, then they will tell you like, okay, if anything happen, if a fire happen, please do what. Okay, they will tell you this one. Even you go to cinema nowadays, if you go cinema, Malaysia one, I think overseas also same. Before they start the movie, sometimes they show you where is the exit in the big screen. They will show you exit where, how to go. This is under OSHA requirement. Okay. Then you will see exit sign and all this. So this is all the secondary one. Secondary, this one is more on the internal process, how you control the process by achieving the primary goals. Yeah, so this is how you memorize lah. Again, memorize 4 from here. This one, no choice, you have to remember if the question come out lah. You Google a bit lah. Google there. EPA, I forget what is that. But if you write OSHA requirement also, I give you correct lah. Environment protection something lah. So nowadays we change the EPA into ESG goal, environment sustainable goal. SDG is one of it. One is ESG, environment sustainable goal. It's focused on the environment one. You will see some factory they start to install solar panels. some rainwater harvesting system, all these things. Okay, and they start to use recycling paper. They will use digital report rather than ask you to go and produce a physical report. Some job you cannot avoid physical paper report, but it's a trend. It's a trend where you start to digitalize everything you have. Involving the government now, you will see they ask you to do a lot of digital things. Even your passport nowadays, a lot of digital information there. Okay. So I'll just summarize for you. On the left is what from the customer side. This one, secondary, is from your company side, internal. Because time, cost, quality is what customer look at. Okay. Okay, now when you go to work, you don't go and argue with your customers. This one don't write one unless you are the consultant. Unless you are hired as a consultant, they need your advice to change something. Then you give. So in the manufacturing setup, if you go and do bidding or there's a new project coming in, your job as a project manager is to understand what customer want. Then your decision only two: go or no go, can do or cannot do. Okay, can do up to what? What is your limit? Like you write your FIP1 report lah, your scope. You can do this one, but what? Up to what? For example. Okay. Okay, but nowadays, those SME, small manufacturing enterprise, they are so desperate. Sometimes they doesn't care, especially in China. They want to get the project first, then only we talk. That is how it happens in China. Right. This is this one you read. What is the future definition and what is the traditional definition? Project, program, and success. Okay. So if the question asks you the definition of project, program, and success, you write either side also. I give you correct because they are the definition. You can use traditional definition. You can use future definition. Okay. This one you read. Failure. Okay. Failure defined as unmet expectation, or you do the opposite meaning of success. Project success. Again, what is project success? You remember these 4 points. Primary factor. The project meet within time, within cost, within quality limits, and accepted by customers. This is project success. If the question asks you what is the failure definition, you do the opposite thing. Not meeting time, not meeting cost, not meeting quality limit, rejected or not accepted by customers. You use the negative phrase. Okay. Rest you read. Okay, today only have 1 hour, so we go. Okay. Planning failures. This is failure, not project failures. So read carefully. This module always focus on the wording things. So don't confuse planning failure and project failure. It's a different thing. Planning failures, it means what you plan and what you do or achieve is different. Okay. The rest you read. Okay. Now we explain about this graph, then we call it a day. Okay. Now, if you look at this chart, there are few zone there. You have none, you have actual, you have plan, you have achievable, you have perfection. These are the state that you are in. So none means no project lah, or no progress lah, or no planning lah. There are three keywords here. What happened to what you plan? What is what you have done or achieved? Done or achieved. Okay. So none means if point A means no planning, nothing achieved, nothing been done. Actual is what your progress, your current progress. Plan is what you plan. Achieve is achievable means things that your potential. Achievable means if your machine can produce 10 pieces per day, then 10 pieces is achievable. And perfection. Perfection means optimum performance. Let's say you buy a car. In theory, they'll tell you in theory, this one can go up to 250 kilometer per hour. That is perfection in ideal case. Achievable means maybe it's up to 80% of the speed, for example, and so on. Okay. When you explain, if the question asks you about what is failure, there are two types of failure. One is perceived failure, one is planning failure, and actual failure. You're using this chart to explain. You draw this chart, and then if the question asks you what is perceived failure, perceived failure is your actual achievement and your plan. What you plan here, you only achieve below what you plan. You plan you want to reach this milestone, but you only do until here. This is called perceived failure. Means you fail in your this one. Then if you plan here, but actually your capacity is to achieve point D, then it's fall under planning failure. Don't confuse within planning and perceive. Can understand? Okay. Now, perceive means what you plan means you do not achieve your plan, your planning. Let's say maybe we give a case study. This is none. This is, let's say you plan. Okay. Let's say your FYP 1 is you need to submit week 10 report, right? You need to submit in week 10. Let's say you need to do something at the week 10. Let's say you want to build a house. Okay, a house. This is what you plan. This project going to complete in, let's say, April 2024, maybe 30th of April, you can build a house. This is what you plan. But at 30th of April, you only do here. 30th of April, you only build maybe the 4 pile only. This is what you've done. Okay, so actual progress is below what you plan. It's called perceived failure. But if your workers can do more, let's say your companies, you can build 2 houses in one day. Let's say 2 houses in one day, but you only build 1 house in one day. It's called planning failure. This is what achievable makes sense in achievable. perfection is 100%. No perfection in this world. Means the efficiency is 100%. Efficiency, definition of efficiency is output divided by input. So this is God level. God level, this one, perfection. Okay. So try to understand. And then actual failure. Actual failure is what you can achieve, but you only do that much. This is actual failure. Okay. Maybe I'll take your exam marks as example. So this one. Let's say this one have potential of achieving maybe 80% out of 100 in the test, 80 marks in the test. This is potential or achievable. Right? So if this person only score maybe 40 out of 100, what kind of failure? This is in the test. This person score 40 out of 100. What is the failure type of failure? The potential is 80%. Means in normal case, this student can score 80 out of 100. But in the test, he only score 40 out of 100. It's an actual failure. Means the potential is here, but the actual is here. So there's a gap between achievable and actual. The gap is called actual failure. So let's say the potential is 80%, but the student plan to just score maybe 75 out of 100 in the test. It's called what? It's called planning failure. Means the potential is here, but this person, this student only think I score 75 cukup already lah, can already. Yeah. So it's under planning failure. Means you do not achieve the potential. And perceive is between what you plan and what you actually have lah. So if you compare what is planned and the actual score, let's say you score 40 in the real test. So the differences between these two is perceived failure. Okay. So important is this point A, B, C, D. It can shift between the location one. None and perfection cannot change lah, but this will be changed one. Don't think that only have one this format. So, but important you understand what is perceived failure, actual failure, and planning failure. So I'll give you another chart. You look at the top and bottom. If you understand this one, then we call it a day. We are done already actually. So on the top is pessimistic planning. Pessimistic plannings, you see the actual and the achievable is on the left hand side. But this one is optimistic. Optimistic, you see the plan is ahead of achievable. You see the differences of point? Even though A, B, C, D is there, but the point means something, mean differently. So for example, pessimistic one, achievable is in front. Optimistic one is plan. Means it always think positive, or I can do more than what it can achieve. Optimistic means is over project what he can do. Let's say this student potential is 80%, but he planned to do 90 out of 100 in test. So like maths, in the maths, he always score 80, 80, 80, 85, 81, 82. But he planned to do 95 out of 100 in the next coming test. that is optimistic. Okay, now you can see within the plan and actual is called perceived. Within the plan and achievable is planning. Within the achievable and actual is actual lah. Can important is that you understand what is perceived failure or the word perceive, planning and actual. The point can be changed one. The point of what? The point of actual achievable plan, it can be switching each other. Once you change the sequence, it can be flipped to pessimistic, it can flip to optimistic. Yeah. So it depends on how the question asks you lah. I ask you explain with the diagram and elaboration on pessimistic plannings. What does the question expect you to do? Expect you to draw this diagram. You can use any shape you want, or even you lazy, you just draw one line. You label A, B, C, D, E, and then you dot the point. Important is you're able to draw this line and then you write where is the gap. That is what the question really want to know, whether you understand or not. Yeah, can the rest you read lah. If you understand, everything is on the slide. Okay, this one you read. Okay, we stop here and we continue next week, Tuesday. Next week's Tuesday, and next week we have a replacement class. Thursday, Friday. You mean Friday? Is it? Oh, okay. Multipuzzle, is it?